Hello everybody and welcome back to LMM, and if you're enjoying what you're seeing on the channel at the moment, how about giving this video a like and maybe subscribing to the channel to help us grow, and perhaps even check out Patreon. Today we are here at the NEC ready to come set up for the Model Railway Show. So this is going to be a behind the scenes look of what it's like setting up for one of these big shows, which is actually really quite exciting. First up, we had to get in, which is always a challenge. So today it's me, Tom and Deej. Now the other guys have taken the van to the loading dock, and so we're going in on foot. So behold, a brand new show in an old location. This is what the... Oh, I know what that is. It's Douglas!
Douglas!
Oh, that's cool. I wonder if my friend!
Here he's supposed to be helping unloading. He has got distracted. Predictably, Lawrie has got distracted, so we're actually going to go and do what we're supposed to be doing, which is helping that lot set up.
So this is exciting as Douglas is offloaded. It's the star of the show today, the full-size 1-to-1 model. That's the lorry that's brought it in, and it's going to be surrounded by stuff. So they're my friends from the Talcott. I've got a video of that coming out, so something to look forward to.
At this point, I figured I probably should go and do what I was actually meant to do.
You know, it's a bit like this with cars. When you have a big space like a shed or an exhibition centre, when it's empty, it looks huge, like massive. And you think, how on earth are they going to fill this space with model railway stuff? And then you kind of, well, we'll see how it is when it's open. It's just a massive space. So we're looking on the floor, L22, that's not us. L44, that's not us. But L23, this is us. And bits have already turned up. So obviously this is really exciting for us to do something like this, to be at the biggest model railway show in the country, to have been invited and to be bringing in our modular. I mean, it's a little bit bonkers, to be honest. Also, it's fun to be able to go behind the scenes. So I need to find where the guys are with our truck. That's a super question. Where is it?
Hi.
Yeah, I'm here to help. Yeah. Yeah, I'm useful.
Nice to see you carrying.
I'm documenting what's going on. What Dave's got here are our new favourite thing. These are train sporter boxes, and we'll do more on them later, but they're awesome.
I crashed.
Do you ever get a strong feeling like you really shouldn't be somewhere because we should not be here? How you feeling?
Scared.
Yeah,
Excited.
It's a good one.
It's good.
Right, I'm going to come help.
Are you?
No.
Oh, Deej at the
Nick, how you feeling?
I'll tell you what, are you alright?
Really excited now.
Really excited. Lawrie, because I can
Do you want me just? I was going to say, give me that one. I'll take that. Yes. So I have a traverser, which is kind of important. I've got a Lozz, which is also important with his traverser, and with that, we're now making progress. Things are happening. So we have but an hour to get everything of ours out of the van and over into our area. That's one. That's the Carl Heaths. This is Lozz's. This is
pretty cool.
It's just
I
phenomenal.
don't think we've ever been in anything like this. So empty.
No, it's amazing how big it feels. I was saying earlier, like it feels like a massive space. I'm sure it's going to feel like a very small space when everyone's here.
Yeah.
Also,
You think last year when we were here, how packed it was. Everything rammed with people. You couldn't even sit down. You know, no space to sit down, and yet now there's nothing in it.
it's big, isn't it? Imagine all the vehicles I could put in here.
Do you want to make an offer?
Yeah.
How much a month? Yes.
I have 50p at the moment. How long will that give me? As the big strong men, we are carrying many things and being useful. Now, we are here at 10 o'clock in the morning. We got like the first loading slot that was available. And really, I don't think we need it. But the idea is that we're going to set up, get it all working, and then play trains and watch everybody else set up. It's a good plan. Although, what time did you wake up?
6:15.
4:30.
Yeah, you remember though, I normally don't get up until about 9 o'clock.
Oh, yeah,
I don't get in from work until 1 in the morning. Mornings are not my fault.
No, they're not. Behold, a modular railway in bits. Oh, and other bits.
It may sound obvious, but as well as the layout, which was relatively substantial, we'd all got rather a lot of extra bits. Rolling stock, tools, and these fancy new signs that we'd had made up.
Have you ever felt like somebody else is really doing a better job than you? Because these guys, they're fully built, or at least partly built, whereas... What we got? What we got? Oh,
passes.
we need them. So at this moment, Lozz and Nick have gone that way to take the van and the people carrier back to the parking. Because we've got to be off the bay, we're only allowed to be there for an hour. Which have left me, Tom and Deej in charge of building the whole modular. Dave and Becca aren't here yet, Tag's not here yet. So yeah, it's just us and... I can't remember how to do this. So, have you done this before?
What?
Cool.
I decided that the best thing I could do would be to take the supervisor role.
Are you winning?
I am.
Do you know what you're doing?
I don't.
This became quite apparent from the number of nuts and bolts that appeared around Deej.
So you're effectively a magpie just collecting shiny.
I am. I like collecting. I like shiny.
And soon enough, through mostly luck, Traverser 1 was up.
Progress!
We're done. Let's go home. We're here to see just this. Welcome to the NCMA modular.
Module there, module here.
Yeah, the module there.
Right, to me, spin. Now to me. Excellent job. So this is next, but it needs to do 180.
To me.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah, and that goes on like that. Mount that like that.
And with the first module standing, we sent Tom to connect them up.
Are you enjoying your new underground life?
Ruining it, yeah.
Suddenly, more trouble appeared.
Bringing another module for the layout.
Hey guys.
And then it was time to start building mine, which had new modifications.
So I think I've done a good job with this.
Well, tell me what you've done.
I made it a lot worse. That's
Broken it, is what you've done.
No, it is.
You've broken some of it.
It's fixed. It's
got it
just.
in.
Oh, well done.
I've got it in.
It's just a lot harder.
Have you got the... Try not to take my finger off this.
It's bitten me more than once today.
Do you think that it's gone well?
Well, it's not fallen over.
It's better than it was.
It's level.
The big thing about this is the rules in our rulebook for building this modular was your module must be freestanding. So 6 months after the initial show, I finally complied with the rulebook.
The plan was to test the modular at every opportunity. Every time we put another module on, check to make sure that stock would run smoothly between the two.
Sweet. Does it go over the next bit? As in, can we get on the traverser without the falling off on the traverser? No.
Leaving Tom and Deej to deal with the issue, I went to see how everybody else was getting on. Lozz's layout was now up, and he was just getting everything level before attaching it to mine.
The sooner you remove the bottom part of this layout, the better.
I am sorry.
No, you're not.
You better be.
What you can't see, everybody, is his smug face on the other side of that.
I am genuinely sorry. It's one of those, I finished building it and went, but it's okay, you're going to be fine with it.
Oh, for goodness.
What I realised as well is pushing the top brace of the legs just there, I made it even worse.
Can you do that one as well? Maybe.
With mine and Lozz's connected, the next stage was to get everything absolutely dead level, which meant going underneath and adjusting the feet, something even I got involved with.
Come up.
Up.
And with adjustments complete, it was testing time.
Sweet. Let's send it back and see if it gets onto Lozz's. Launch.
I don't want to launch it too hard. That's why I didn't want to launch it too hard.
Them poor passengers.
The great train disaster of the NEC.
Incoming.
Got carried away.
Having established that the railway worked so far, the next module to be assembled was Nick's. This one was the passing place, but I wasn't there to help because I got distracted by all the other goings on and went to see what other people around the show were up to. It was still early doors, but it was incredible the sheer amount of modern railway stuff that was being brought into the show. I had literally never seen so much of it. And it wasn't just traders getting set up. Many of the layouts alongside us were starting to assemble themselves. Many of them doing a much better job than us, and some people had a much easier job than us. And we're on to the finishing touches, like putting the name up. There were some different things this year, like Train Sim World, and then I went to see the Talaclin and saw the engine had gained a badge of approval. Returning back to the modular, and the next 2 boards were now up and assembled, with Tom doing his favourite thing and going underground. This was now starting to look quite impressive as the thing grew.
So as the modular continues to become a working model railway, we're about halfway now, so we already put the controllers in. It runs from the traverser at that end all the way down to the middle section. It's slowly sinking in that we're here at this absolutely massive show. So this is what was the traditional Wally show. It's the same weekend as what was Wally, but under new management. So it's really quite exciting to be here for its first year, but it still carries some of that, prestige of the laurels of the old one. That layout isn't even a year old. This club is hardly a year old. We started with nothing. That didn't exist this year, and now we're here at the big show. It's just mental.
Now, speaking of mental, that sums up the team.
How do I look? Wonderful.
Mucking around aside, Deej was doing a grand job at helping to get things together.
Oh, suits you, sir.
And it even relieved Tom by going underneath to bolt things together. By this point, we'd been here several hours, and the modules were coming together nicely into one cohesive layout. However, there is one major problem of having lots of people all bringing their modules to the show. And that is that Tag wasn't yet here. And until he turned up, we couldn't finish building. To be efficient with our time, Lozz started to assemble the other traverser, so when Tag did turn up, we'd be able to bolt it straight in. And with that completed, he returned to his module to reassemble one of the buildings that had been damaged in transit. Once he'd finished doing that, it was time to have a look at the rat's nest of cabling under his control system.
What are you doing, Lozz?
Definitely not just putting the cases on the plugs that should have been done over a year ago.
It's fine though, right? They still work.
Yeah, it's fine.
By a significant margin, Lozz had the most complex wiring out of any of the modules. It was so complex that nobody else even could begin to fathom what he'd done under there. To save Tom the temptation from unplugging things, at that very moment, Tag appeared with his module, and soon it had sprouted legs, been stood up, and was being bolted to the next module by Deej and Lozz. Now we were really starting to cook with gas. We had all the major components assembled and stood up. Being the helpful fellow that I am, I decided that now would be a prime time to go and see how other people were getting on. I was particularly excited to see the ride-on railway being assembled, and frankly amazed at just how many people were here getting set up. It was amazing seeing this once empty hall become more populated. I then decided it was probably time to return to the modular and ask with a great amount of tact how they were getting on.
You're not finished yet?
No.
Sensing that perhaps I should do something to help out, I began to link the wiring of the modules together.
Look, I've also repositioned these to the underside to keep it all tidy.
Wow, you did the same as everybody else managed to do the first time round.
No, lots of people.
4 for 10.
Lots of people are on the back, thank you very much. I've just copied your design because I thought it was good, but if you're going to be sarky about it... I started it on the underside. No, you didn't.
Well, I started it actually, and I've not even got a board.
Well, regardless, it's not my... There's no reason you have actually decided to follow everyone else.
Well, I've got legs now, thank you.
We have noticed.
And once everything was electrically connected, it was time for testing.
Stop 1. Stop 2. It fell off here.
Even by our standards, this was a pretty bad start. It hadn't even got onto the modular proper, and it was already off.
You've lost.
Do you want to try it again, Nick? Yeah, go for it. We have a problem.
And rather worryingly, this wasn't the only ground fault that was occurring.
Fell off again.
Leaving Lozz and Dave to try and solve the faults that I'd found, I continued testing with more trains. And immediately had problems with one of Nick's points, but we just decided that it's probably that the coaches were a bit old and went on with testing.
Stop it.
It's gone very wrong.
Which went poorly. Deej sprung into action to try and adjust the boards to get everything just right.
You're re-leveling.
Releveling.
After a significant amount of fiddling, we were ready for more testing, which was great until we got to the point identified earlier.
No, it's there.
Where was it? That was.
It's that point somewhere.
Is it this point?
It's the point.
Okay. There is something.
And after further modification, we were able to test again, where the train immediately fell off, re-railed itself, and then managed to continue through to the end of the board. This marked the first successful trans-traverser trip at the NEC, so this was a much anticipated moment of much jubilation. But in order for this to be marked a success, the train had to make a successful return trip, and I'd noticed a slight hesitation going over the point on Lozz's module, which at lower speed stopped the train entirely.
So as you can see from the soldering line, we have a problem with this point, which Deej thinks he's sorted.
I fixed it.
You sure?
No.
So a locomotive normally dies just there. So small wheelbase, 040, and... Fantastic. Right, so this is now going for a line run. So we're going to come through here. I'm going to swap this over to my control. I'm going to swap this one over to my control. I'm going to change the point for it. And off it goes, off on its little adventure.
With a point passing the Plymouth test, it was time to try the Prairie and train.
Do we want to try and fix that?
With a successful return trip and the belief that the modular was now functioning as it should, it was time to test everything. Everything we wanted to run on Saturday and Sunday was going to be tested on the Friday to make sure that it was in good stead and that it would function fine over the weekend. We didn't want any embarrassments of stuff falling off when the public were watching. This led to the greatest number of different trains that we have ever run on the modular. Normally we set things up in the morning, run a couple of test trains, and then those trains stay out for a few hours. But as we wanted to test absolutely everybody's locomotives and stock, that meant that every train made one trip up and down the modular to make sure that it was okay, and then it was taken off for us to be able to test something else. And if it fell off and had a problem, then it was taken out of the pool and that would not run this weekend. This was hugely exciting and gave us all the opportunity to see our beloved models out on the modular, and so many weird and different variations of train. For many of us, this was the furthest we'd ever seen a particular model run, and it was really exciting to actually get it out and get it to do something on a proper layout. So many of our models and locomotives have been confined to boxes and small layouts, so to set them free was just glorious. And as disappointing as it was for the owners when things did fall off, at least we discovered it now and knew that the thing wouldn't be making a faux pas in front of the public over the weekend.
Oh dear.
We had surprisingly few upsets and were pretty impressed how well most of our rolling stock stayed on the modular. And with some of the other guys testing out their locos and stock, I headed off into the show to see how other people were getting on. And it was really exciting to see the show starting to grow with more people turning up, one of which was our friends over at TMC. Now, if you've seen my video of the TMC YouTube challenge, you'll have seen a brief look inside their shop and the sheer amount of stock that they have. And it appeared that they had bought an awful lot of it with them, including a dazzling display of locomotives, many of which with TMC's weathering applied. I decided to head back to the modular, but I made a diversion on the way.
I've just gone to see my friends on KL. I've got something to play with for the weekend.
I was quite excited about this. If it's not apparent by now, I really, really like the GT3 in BR Black. It looks so good. And then immediately it was on to testing. And then on to more testing with different engines. And this one, I was particularly anxious for it to make a successful return trip. I really like bringing older models to a show and giving them the opportunity to show off and do exactly what they're meant to do. It just gives me such a huge amount of joy. It's given them a second chance, if you will, to prove their worth.
It's older than all of us. It shouldn't be at the NEC, but it is. You're in. It makes me so happy having an old model, something that's kind of not up to today's standards, and then being like, yeah, we'll run it at the show. Yeah, it'll be fine. And it makes me so happy. Right, let's attention, ladies and gentlemen. These are the unboxed mint coaches. Never before on a layout.
These were the 40-year-old, never opened before coaches that I unboxed in a previous video. Like every other item of stock, they had to successfully complete a test run before they could be out for the weekend. And if they didn't, it would be quite embarrassing for me because I'd promised to all of you lovely people that you could see them running for the first time. And for me, I thought this was a truly special moment to see these coaches finally, after so many years of being locked away, to actually get to do what they were always meant to do. Disappointingly for me, this was the only trip that the Mogul managed, as it quite spectacularly managed to shear part of its piston assembly on the return working. And then there was this. This Ginty, I did a video of ages ago rebuilding it from a broken body. I spent way too much money on this. You could have bought a newer one from Bachmann, but instead this is the old one, and it runs relatively well. It is, however, quite loud, as you saw in that shot. We've been given this to test for the show. Yeah, product placement. Now apparently, this is a really good oil that's now been recognised by Hornby and various other manufacturers. And apparently it's 30% more efficient, so it makes your locos run better. So I'm going to add a bit to my main drive here, a little bit onto the wheels. There and there. What perfect music. And we're going to give that a run in a second and see if this magic stuff has made any difference whatsoever. Right, Callum.
It's a lot quieter. Yeah.
What is this? This is snake oil or what? Listen to the difference in that as it comes oil on it. That's amazing.
Now, this might not sound that different to you in the video, but in real life, this made a massive difference to the sound this made.
It's got that new oil on it. We've already sent it up and it was so noisy.
Fresh from the success of the new oil, we returned to TMC to pick up something very special.
So we come over to our friends here at TMC. Now, I've shown you before, they do these amazing graffiti wagons, and they've got a really special surprise for us, which is something we've been kind of leading up to for a while, and me and Lozz are so excited for this. So, hi guys.
Hello. Hi. Well, we put our hearts and soul into transforming these coaches for you,
So TMC. Oh no! No, that's the best! That is the LMM graffiti coach. That is the single greatest thing I've ever seen.
Do you like this one?
I do, because it's us as the new company. That's awesome, but that is absolutely...
No, this one's the best.
That is absolutely brilliant.
So for those watching, the brief on these coaches was actually quite loose. He did say that he specified he wanted certain elements including in the design, but our designer is creative in the sense that he's run with that, developed it, and produced these results, which, as you can see, are quite eye-catching.
Right, let's go give them a test. Guys, these are amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I'll be sure to feed it back to you.
Wow. We weren't sure what to expect, but this is completely blown away.
I don't really know what to say other than wow. They're gorgeous.
How can we make this happen?
We would like to show something we've been working on that we are very pleased with. Tad, come check this out. We've had a little talk with our friends over at TMC. And as a result, we managed to picture some coaches to run all weekend and also an out for the club. So, do you want to show one first? This one. So, as you know, TMC do a weathering and graffiti service. So we have a TMC sponsored coach. We also have an LMM And peaceful response, the best one is we have our own club.
Obviously, we were hugely excited and couldn't wait to give these coaches a run. What's particularly exciting is the fact that these are the first of their kind. TMC have graffitied and weathered many wagons, but they have never graffitied coaches before. These are the first 3 that they have ever done, and we are so amazingly honoured that it is us that they worked with to do them. And they are just stunning. We've never seen anything like them, and they fit the theme of our heritage railway so well. A railway that suffered a graffiti attack, but the gala is on, so they have to put the coaches out anyway, even though they've been painted. And it's such a lovely nod to LMM, to the NCMA, and of course to the wonderful people at TMC. And if you fancy yourself a set of graffitied carriages, wagons, or just interested in the weathering service that TMC provide, there's a link in the video description so you can check out for yourself the kind of work they can do. We can vouch for them, they're super guys, and as you can see from the coaches, they do amazing work. These things absolutely blew us away. They are absolutely superb, and they really do look like somebody has graffitied the coaches. They're absolute works of art, and we are so very grateful for this. And so a massive great thank you to TMC for coming up for the idea and going through with it. It's an absolute honour that they wanted to work with us and do this, and we are just so excited. And we knew that these would be a huge talking point for the entire weekend.
They work, and that's fantastic. They're amazing. Really good.
Never in our wildest dreams did we think that we could have something quite like this running on our layout. These are absolutely outstanding. And it was about now, for me and Lozz, that we had an epiphany. We were actually here at the NEC. Something that started building micro layouts at Statfold as part of LMM had evolved to a club, where we had a big layout at the biggest show in the country, and we couldn't wait for the morning. And to find out what we got up to at the show, you'll have to wait for the next episode. And how about clicking up there for the video of the show, or down there for the adventure that we've had recently with TMC. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time, and hope that you enjoy episode 2. Ta-ra!